Hi everyone, I'm Louise Unsworth from Hal Leonard, and together with Young Voices, we're thrilled to be bringing you this special interview with one of the composers behind Hairspray the Musical, Marc Shaiman. Hairspray is set in 1960s Baltimore and explores a range of themes that are still relevant today. Young Voices choirs across the UK and America will be singing a medley of these tunes in their 2025 tours, so we're here to chat with Marc about him and the songwriting process. Hi, Marc. Thanks so much for joining us today. We've got some great questions from children taking part in Young Voices 2025. And actually, these children are from Newark, which I believe is where you're from.
Born in Newark, but migrated south shortly after my birth. But on my birth certificate, Newark, Newark, Newark. And every time I drive through Newark, I beam, my chest heaves. Yeah.
Amazing. That's great to hear that Newark is still close to your heart. So without further ado, I'm going to pass over to the children to ask their questions.
Hi, I'm Jaciana Vincent, and I'm from Speedway Avenue School. How old were you when you started writing songs, and what was your first song?
I started playing piano very young. I was playing by ear. I would play my sister's piano lesson. I would go to the piano after her lesson and play it by ear. So they went, geez, let's give him lessons a little earlier than you give kids lessons. I do remember, I'll never forget, we had a fat cat named Linus. And when she would walk across the room, I'd go. Quite simplistic. You just C, F, and G. But I was trying that was my first attempt to summon up physical motion with music. So I don't know, I was in first or second grade or something like that. And then I just kept doing it. As a matter of fact, my first 6 years in school, there wasn't much of a music program. A teacher would come in once in a while and bring in a record player and play something. And that's almost only one time is the only thing I can think of, all the ways through sixth grade. My parents once bought me that, what is it called, melodica, that you blow into. And I started bringing that into school in my sixth grade just to try to show the kids, hey, I can do this thing that I don't get an opportunity to do here in school. And it wasn't until seventh grade, where there was a great music teacher and choir and band. And then, then my life began. And that's all I wanted to do, especially harmony.
Hi, my name is Gorgeous Burke, and I go to Hawthorne Elementary. What drew you to the story of Hairspray and set it to music?
Scott is my co-lyricist on the show. We were partners for many, many years, and we would be first online for any John Waters movie. So we loved him. And I had been working on movies all through the 90s. I was scoring movies in Los Angeles, one after another. And even though I was having a lot of success, I was so much wanting to write a Broadway musical. Scott and I, that's all we wanted to do. So Scott was just sitting by in LA while I was scoring movies. That led to everyone saying to a woman named Margot Lyon, who was looking for someone to write the score to Hairspray. She had just gotten the rights. And she was saying, who should I get? Who do you think should write the score? And that was when that movie came out. And so everyone kept saying to her, call Marc Shaiman, call Marc Shaiman. So Margot Lyon called me out of the blue and said, would you be interested in writing a musical of Hairspray? And we were like, yes. And I'll only do it if Scott and I write the lyrics. Because she said, who do you want to write lyrics? I said, I write lyrics, Scott writes lyrics. We've done it together. This is what we always wanted to do. Add to that the fact that I basically am Tracy Turnblad. I was that same kid in school, just like her. I so related to the story. I didn't just relate to the story. It was my story. Chubby little kid with a lot of music in me and a intense love of Black culture and soul music, R&B music. That's all I wanted to play. And I wanted to be in the auditorium playing R&B music. So if the Black kids walked by, they might go, hey, listen to that white kid. He could really play. So this was the story of my life. So Hairspray just made total sense.
Hi, I'm Ariana Alvarado, and I go to Oliver Street School. Who's your favorite Hairspray character?
Well, all Hairspray characters, they're all They're all phenomenal characters that John Waters created. I mean, yes, I'm definitely Tracy Turnblad, but there's a lot of Motormouth Mabel in me, and there's a lot of Edna Turnblad, and all of them. They're all inside of me. That's why it was so, I dare say, easy to write. Maybe you shouldn't say that. It should be such a struggle, and there were struggles, but they were far and few between. It was kind of blessed.
Hi, my name is Summer, and I go to Sir Isaac Newton Elementary School. When you were writing the musical, did you pretend to be the characters?
Well, of course, writing a musical, you have to make yourself the character to be able to sing as that character is. And with Hairspray, we had, what is much more under a microscope now than it was 20 some years ago. But, us writing for the Black characters, we had to stay pure and right and know what we were talking about. And that's what arts is all about, is investigating other people and all the other cultures and throwing yourself so into it that you can write correctly for it. That's the most enriching part of writing. So the only difficulty that came up putting the show up on its feet was the song I Know Where I've Been, which we had written for Motormouth Mabel to sing to Tracy and Link and the Black community in her record shop, reminding them that this fight is far more important than just you kids getting to dance on this one TV show. And her, giving the show that moment of ballast, is that the right word? So that, the last 20 minutes means much more because Motormouth has let the kids in the show and the audience be reminded this is a large issue. This is an important issue that can't just be joked about all night. But our initial producers, they were scared of that song. They felt like, is it too serious? Aren't we making a comedy? And why isn't Tracy having the big solo, the big 11 o'clock number? And we were like, well, what could be more Tracy Turnblad for then her to turn over the big 11 o'clock number to let a Black character sing about the reality of the situation? It just seemed right to us. So there was a lot of give and take on that. And it wasn't until we first performed the show in our first performance in Seattle, our out-of-town tryout, where they were like, we're waiting. If this song stops the show in a wrong way, in other words, just everything kind of flattens out after, we're going to make you cut it. And we're like, we're not going to cut this song and you'll see. And then the first performance came and she sang the song and the audience exploded and stood on their feet. And it was a victory, and it was apropos to Hairspray that even within the Hairspray, we had to fight for what was right for the Black characters.
Hello, my name is Caspian Walston and I'm from Dr. Yama Flag. If there are children in the Young Voices Choir inspired to write music to others' words, what would your biggest tip be for working with the lyrics writer?
Thanks for collaborating with a lyricist. Being a lyricist myself, it's just all about collaboration, whether it's a composer with a lyricist or the songwriting team with the director and with the choreographer. All entertainment is really a collaboration. I mean, unless you are, maybe you write a book and you are by yourself. But even then, you hand it into an editor, and an editor will have thoughts, and you have to listen to them and maybe be a little like, oh, that's a good idea. You have to listen. All the best stuff came from collaboration.
Hi, my name is Jana Tahada. I go to First Avenue School. Do you have any tips for us when we perform the Hairspray medley at Young Voices?
With Hairspray, the word joy really comes front and center. And when you're singing songs from Hairspray, you can't be like this. You can't be. You've got to sing with your whole body, your whole voice, your whole body, and your heart and soul. And it's got to get to every single person in that audience. There's no place in Hairspray to be shy. You got to go out there. And of course, singing harmony, I should say, that was when my life really began. When I got to what's called junior high school here in America. Is it middle school in Britain? You know, seventh grade, eighth grade. When I got to work with a choir, not just sing, but arrange and think, you know, hey girls, come over to the piano. I have this idea for 3 parts. Harmony. I mean, once again, it's really what the whole world is about: harmonization, blending, singing with other people, and the joy of hearing your voice melding with someone else's and it becoming something bigger, something even better than each of your solo voices. That is just still the biggest thrill for me, being in a room of singers singing harmony. That's it.
Thanks so much, Mark. It's fascinating to hear how Hairspray came to life and to learn about your introduction to songwriting as well, with the help of Linus the Cat, of course. Hopefully we've inspired some future songwriters out there as well. So from everyone at Young Voices and Hal Leonard, a big thanks to all the children in Newark for your brilliant questions. Have lots of fun singing this medley on tour, and we hope you create lots of amazing memories as well.